Neurons. The nervous system is made up of billions of cells called neurons. Neurons, that mean nerve cells. Nerve cells making up the nervous system. And the nerve cells are specialized to transmit nerve impulse. Structure of neurons. A neuron consists of a cell body. A cell body, how you can identify a cell body, it means it's just like it contains a nucleus. Very important, you identify with the presence of nucleus, cytoplasm, and other organelles. What organelles you will find there? Can you guess? Yes, like mitochondrion, right? Mitochondrion, because nerve impulse transmission the nerve needs to produce nerve impulse and also transmit the nerve impulse, which require energy. So you can find a lot of mitochondria and also some rough endoplasmic reticulum. And it also consists of nerve fibers. So you can see all the branches extending from the cytoplasm of the cell body. Okay, these are all the branches. So you can see that it's from here, all branching here. We also call these nerve fibers. And they include dendron and axons. What are dendron and axon? Dendron and axon. Okay? Dendrons and transmit nerve impulse towards the cell body. If you look at the red arrow, it indicates the directions of the nerve impulse transmission. The nerve impulse transmission usually transmit in one direction only, and they all transmit in one direction only. So, and the dendron transmit nerve impulse towards the cell body. So these are the dendron. All right, we identify whether it's dendron, axon, it's how it's transmit nerve impulse direction. It's towards the cell body. And a dendron usually branches into a smaller branches we call dendrites. So these are called dendrites. They also transmit nerve impulse towards the dendron and then to the cell body, which usually receive information from receptor or other neurons. They have some information from other receptor or the neurons. So they receive the nerve impulse here and then send to the cell body. And axon is continue, okay? Axon, look at the arrow. It's carry or transmit. We usually use transmit or conduct, okay? Transmit or conduct the nerve impulse away from the cell body. Leave the cell body, all right? Away from the cell body. And the ends usually break up into many branches with swollen tips we call synaptic knobs. And these synaptic knobs have vesicles and contain some neurotransmitter. I will explain this in detail later. So let's take a look of the axon. And many nerve fibers have lipid. These are lipid covering. This yellow part is covering or wrapped up by some lipid fatty tissues, and it's called myelin sheath. They are called myelin sheath. All right, just like a Swiss roll, 好似瑞士蛋卷咁樣捲住佢嘅。It's just like the wire that the white electrical wire that wrapped up with the plastic coating, right? It's wrapped up. And some of the long axon, they have such structure with this myelin sheath. And the functions of these, this is the axon, this is the cross section, 6,000 times. This is the axon, and these are the myelin sheath. There are two functions of the myelin sheath which is very important on nerve impulse transmission. Actually, it's to insulate or to cover nerve fibers, prevent transmissions of nerve impulse to the surroundings, just like prevent from the leakage of the nerve impulse. All right, read up with, because The myelin sheath is lipid, which is it's a electrical insulator, right? So it's prevent the leakage of the nerve impulse. And the second very important is speed up the transmission of nerve impulse. But how? Not in our syllabus. I will tell you later if you're interested in it. But very important, the presence of myelin sheath can travel up to in a myelinated. Give you an information how it speed up or how much it speed up the transmission. If in a myelinated, I use the word myelinated. That means the nerve fibers with the myelin sheath wrapped it. Okay, with the myelinated nerves, its nerve impulse transmission can be 120 meter per second. Think about it, 130 meter per second for the nerve impulse transmission in a myelinated nerve, and which is 100 times than non-myelinated, unmyelinated nerves. All right, so for unmyelinated nerve, maybe 1.2 meter per second. All right, this is unmyelinated nerves. So it's speed up for 100 times, for 100 times. So that's a lot, right? So it's very important to speed up the transmission so we can give a very quick response on this, right? So this is the structures of a neuron. Now, in fact, our nerves, fibers of different neurons are usually wrapped in connective tissues. So all these of our nerve fibers are wrapped up together with some connective tissues. With these connective tissues, it's like this. All right, so it's form a bundle. Many nerve fibers, they group together with some connective tissues, form a bundle of nerves. All right, and then many of these bundles, they also wrapped up with some connective tissues together, and then this become an even larger bundle of nerve fibers. All right, so the nerve also needs some nutrients. So you can see inside a nerve there are some blood vessels. They may provide some nutrients and to the nerve fibers, and also remove waste from the nerve fibers.